Right now.
Right now.
Right.
All right, hi everyone. So Kaufman's gonna be late again, but not for as long as he was last week. So I'm gonna go ahead and start us off with a 30-minute writing sprint, and hopefully we can get some work done.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and start that now. well, now that we see we have Kaufman back, hopefully people got some work done, so
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, good.
All right. What is up, my friends? Glad to be here. Thank you for getting things underway, so
Yeah, no problem.
how are you guys doing today? How'd that sprint treat y'all?
I just did some review of something that I had been working on like a month ago, so I was really just more reading through that, seeing where I had last been. So
Okay. Which story was this exactly?
Um, actually, I opened up the price of choice. I've been
Mm-hmm.
trying to go between my different stories and figuring out which one I want to work on that is going to help me actually like focus on writing beyond my minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So, just kind of going back and forth between. I'm not even going to say how many I've been going in between.
Sounds like you've been going in between quite a number of stories as of late.
Yeah, but it's mostly again like just I'm trying to figure out which one is going to help me I'm actually going to focus on rather than
Okay.
just continuously jumping around. And unfortunately, none of them are
Gotcha.
just kind of clicking.
Have you taken a break from your pirate series?
That is one of the ones I keep jumping back to, but I can't seem to focus on it.
Mm,
I'm still having like a massive issue with writer's block right now.
mm. Well, what broke your writer's block on your first book?
Shame.
All right, where's your partner? Tell him it's time for the bell and the shame.
He probably would do
Shame.
that if I asked.
Shame.
Shame. All right, so every week we see you from now on, we'll just be like, shame, shame. Crazy. We need the bell until you finish the third book.
I need to get a
You
bell.
will feel so much more accomplished finishing the series, though.
Oh yeah, no, I know I will,
Mhm.
which is why I'm
It's like
getting
trying to get to the
so
writer's block.
infuriated with
Mhm.
myself.
So how are you feeling blocked from the book exactly? Is it that you don't know what to write next, or you don't feel inspired to write? Like
I'm
where
not really sure, in all honesty. I mean,
like a general sentiment?
yeah. I mean, I've almost got part one finished for one of the points of view. I just have the end of the chapter to write for that. That's
Mm-hmm.
going to end it from the first point of view, and then I have
Mm-hmm.
Kasai's point of view to still write. And I have a
Mm-hmm.
general idea of what I'm doing with it. It's just I don't know. It's like I can't make myself work on it. And unfortunately, I honestly kind of figured at first that maybe I burnt myself out in August,
Mm-hmm.
but then it's
Possible,
gone
but you
on
did do
long
a lot of
enough.
writing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of writing is an understatement.
You did
But
get a lot of words in on August. You should definitely congratulate yourself on that.
oh yeah, no, I'm very happy. But at the same time, it's like okay, well, clearly I used up the rest of my
Mm-hmm.
words for the year in August, and it is not making me happy because like
And I
no
mean,
matter
everyone did really like your story, by the way, for Freaky Friday. It was a good story.
I was able to listen in
Mm-hmm.
while you were reading mine, but
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, I was actually out with family that night, so I couldn't listen to the rest, which I kind of hate. I need to go back and listen to them.
Exactly. Beautiful thing why the replay is always available. Um, but I totally feel you on that one. And I'm curious for anyone here in the chat, by the way, it's good to see all you guys here. Has anyone else been struggling with writer's block lately? And I know a couple of you guys have series that you've gone through. How do you guys overcome writer's block? Any strategies? So we're going to figure out how to help motivate you so you can finish your series.
Oh, that would be super nice.
So we'll figure it out. If there's a will, there's a way. Even if Crazy has to go get the shame bell.
Shame.
This is what we need. We need to create a character in the community that represents the like is like the shame character, and we'll just meme it whenever anybody gets a writer's block.
As long as we get the bell, and on that bell, we put that dragon on it.
Yes, because we know we put a dragon on it.
We put
It'll
that
all work
dragon
out.
on it.
Oh man. By the way, I saw a couple of you guys here in the chat. I know I hopped in a little late, but it's always good to have you guys in here. White Seer, Lynn, Megan, ooh, zombie legs. I was like, Embryo. Always good to see you back, Embryo. Welcome back. Lynn, I liked your comment. You're like, have I done any writing sprints yet? No. Did I just spend 20 minutes making my writing spreadsheet tracker for November? Yes. A true writer, my friend. Absolutely love to hear that. But writing accountability and consistency is so important. So whatever systems that we need to be put in place are definitely critical. So I approve. Unless you only do writing spreadsheets for the next couple of weeks, I think that's probably not a bad strategy.
Well, honestly, I have time. I mean, I don't do like anything around the house except for like basic adulting stuff. But I write every day. I do a minimum, and just I don't know. Just I can't seem to go past that. I'm Weissier actually did have a comment
for
let me get it up.
the Stevie King comment. Yep.
So yeah, I actually did that. What was it last?
What's that? So Whiteser said, I did what Stevie King does when I struggle. Write 30 minutes of drivel about the weather, the bloke walking past the house, the color of my tea, then take a walk to the loo or make a drink.
I did something like that last week. I think it was like Thursday or Friday, I want to say. I actually just sat down and I wrote for my therapy series. I actually ended up writing a scene from earlier in the series that wasn't written in. And then I also wrote I wrote a semi scene from one of the upcoming stories in it. It wasn't the real thing. It was just kind of to get me doing, and I did like 5,000 words that day.
Really?
But unfortunately, I haven't been able to. I haven't been able to redo that, and I don't know what exactly is making the difference.
Interesting. So for anyone who's just hopping into the chat, we're just chatting about writer's block, everyone's favorite writing conversation and topic. I'd love to hear how people are able to overcome it. I think White's here. That's a really interesting strategy. Captain, by the way, welcome. Our friends over from Twitch, welcome. Said I've struggled and still do with this from time to time. Lately, it's helped most to figure out and recreate the conditions of my last successful writing session. Still, the exercise of writing, even if stream of conscious, is vital. In my silly case, I often find inspiration the moment I stop looking for it. So this is interesting because this is a little similar to my strategy. As somebody who's been writing my entire life, there's been periods in my life where I've gone months and months without writing, and then months and months with writing. And what I've learned, and this is just about myself, is that when you struggle to get back into a writing routine or get into writing in general, you're either feeling blocked because of a lack of skill or it's a lack of motivation. Skill can be solved because we live in the age of Google. Motivation is generally a little bit of a harder one to overcome. I find that if you can figure out how to tie yourself emotionally to your emotional vibe when you're like at a writing high, that's the way to get back into the writing. Because I mean, so crazy, you guys know, right? Some of the best parts of the creative process when you're in like the throes of like developing something that's really awesome, whether it's a character, a storyline, maybe it's brainstorming, maybe it's writing it down. But it's like an emotional high in a sense. And writers understand that. So then the key is, how do you get yourself? How can you retether yourself to that emotional high when you don't feel it at all? And I think that in itself is the goal and the strategy.
Yeah, because I know. I mean, not saying that I have nothing more to learn, because yeah, no, you never stop learning, especially with writing. That's always changing. So I'm not really worried about it being a skill issue, but it's definitely motivation.
Yeah, and I mean, it's motivation is a little bit of a harder one because I think sometimes it comes from within. I think a lot of the times deep down, we probably know why we're not motivated, but usually we have to ask ourselves the hard questions of like, okay, if I'm not feeling motivated, why am I not feeling motivated? And then you just keep asking yourself questions. Why am I not feeling motivated? I'm not feeling motivated because I don't feel like working on this character right now. I don't feel like working on the scene. I feel like I've written too much. I feel like I don't have enough time. I'm tired. I feel like I would rather do something else. Because at the end of the day, despite motivation, at any time you can still sit yourself in front of the computer and write, even when you're not feeling motivated. You might not get quality, but you're still going to get something.
Yeah,
And I mean,
that's kind of what my minimum's been, is just, it's not really anything like continuing my work. It's just going through and editing. And I kind of flip through, I think about like anywhere between 4 to 6 stories each day to hit my minimum. And that's just going through and like doing edits, adding things that need to be added in like older parts, but actually like continuing is kind of where the problem is.
Let me think. Okay, wait. So you said continuing is where the problem is at. So when you sit down, is it? So would you say that the problem is more getting yourself to sit down and write, or you
Nope.
sit down and write, you just don't know?
I sit down, I stare at my computer, and
And
I'm
just like
like,
nothing
I
comes.
have no idea what I'm doing.
Okay.
Thing is, I have my stories planned out. I mean, I
Okay.
have 2 chapters left of my current therapy work, and then I've got 3 more stories after that. Those have been planned out. I
Okay.
know the major
But
point that's happening,
okay. So it's not that
but
you
it's
don't
just,
know. It's so developmentally, it's not that you don't know what needs to happen. It's you're struggling with, well, what should I write in the moment? Um, is it possible that you have heightened expectations of yourself because you've done so much of the series, and as you're nearing the end of the series, there's like you probably want the ending to be really good. You've been with these characters for a while, and anyway, or you've been working on this series for what, 20 years?
well, yeah, no, with
Technically, so coming
pirates,
to the
yeah.
end of it could represent a metaphorical end for you, right? And endings, nobody likes endings. I mean, endings are good, but nobody like, especially when you've been doing something you love for so long.
Well, honestly, I'm actually looking forward to ending the trilogy. I really am. I
Okay.
mean,
Okay.
I don't like the fact how I'm ending it. I have the ending planned, and I
Mhm.
don't think people are gonna be happy with it, per
Okay.
se, because it's not exactly a happy ending. But I'm actually looking forward to finishing Kasai's story because, 1, it's taken me so long to actually get there, but also just it feels nice to actually have this trilogy done after
Mhm.
so long. And I know
Mhm.
that once I get it done, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy going back and reading through it,
Mhm.
seeing what I've done, seeing how much I've improved, and seeing where I can still improve. And then I can go on to the novellas and stuff. But no, I know that finishing the series is not an issue for me.
Interesting.
I think with that it's more of like the small stuff. And one of the
Mhm.
characters, because the second and third book both have dual points of view. Kasai is one of them, and then there's another character that's the other point of view. It's different in the third book than it was the second.
Mhm.
I'm not used to writing from a character like him. For
Mm.
one, writing from the mind of a 16-year-old boy.
Mhm.
Yeah, that can be kind of tricky.
Mm.
But
So you think it's harder capturing the mindset of this new character?
a little bit, yeah, because it's not just the fact that he's 16 and, well, I mean, not that I haven't been through my teenage years because I obviously
Mhm.
have,
Mhm.
but he's 16 and he's got more of a mind like somebody in their mid-20s. So
Interesting. A little bit more
he's
mature.
yeah, mature is an understatement for him. He's a mind reader, so he's been able to read the minds of those around him. So he grew up a lot faster than he should have,
Mm.
which I'm familiar with that. I mean, that's what I did. I grew up faster than I should have. But
Maybe you just don't maybe you're struggling with trying to fully write the character if you don't feel like you have a grasp of the character yet.
I could see that. I kind
Mm.
of went into this book with the mindset of he's still learning about the world because
Mhm.
he's not been away from his home island too much.
Mhm.
He's unfamiliar with the dangers out there. So I came into the mindset he's growing. He's growing and he's changing,
Mhm.
similar to how Kasai did in the very first book,
Okay.
just maybe a year or so younger.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I think you might be right. At least to a point of it's more than just simply him growing as a person and a character, but I also haven't fully fleshed him out yet.
Maybe it's let me think. So maybe I mean when I think about if you're struck with character, then I would think that either you need more of a character bio to further flesh out his character background, or if you're trying to understand his mindset, then maybe you should do some like short like writing exercises and write him in just a completely like standalone excerpt to really practice his mindset and how he would respond to certain scenarios.
That may not be a bad idea, and it actually might help me develop a couple of the other characters more as well, because Brennar is
Mhm.
established.
Mhm.
But I know the other character, his sister, she is supposed to come up a little more, and it would give
Mhm.
me an opportunity to work on her better too.
Plus,
Plus,
you
also,
can
who doesn't want twin dynamics?
exactly, and like plus you can also it allows you, I think, to explore another moment that could be more motivating to you, and then if it turns out well, you can always use it as extra material in the future. And then if it doesn't, it's just practice, so it's a win-win either way.
That's actually a really good comment.
Which one? Lynn. Honestly, if it's this deep into a project for writer's block, usually I find it means I have forgotten to set up a critical part of the plot, and it'll be hard to push forward without it. Ooh, that's really interesting. I mean, yeah. So Lynn definitely has experience with series, so that's a good learning point. Maybe you're
Yeah,
feeling
that's
like there's something that you're missing, Soul, from earlier in the series for this character.
well. The thing is, this character wasn't even born in the first book. In the
Hmm.
second book, he was so young.
So he hasn't really been involved in the plot at all till book 3.
In book two, he appears very briefly as
Hmm.
like a toddler.
Hmm.
There wasn't much to work with back then.
Hmm.
But I also didn't really plan out the end of the first part for him,
Hmm.
while I did plan it for Kasai, so that with the
Uh,
character's most valuable person and most hated person.
Yeah, I like that penumbra. You're like also writing a SL scene with their character's most valuable person, most hated person. Because at heart, if you're trying to explore a character, it's you're trying to explore their emotional depth. And what more emotional depth can you explore than love and hate? So that's actually a really interesting strategy.
I may actually try that because he's
Hmm.
actually already
Good idea.
met his most important character and the most hated, so.
Hmm.
Hmm.
So hope this gives you a little bit of some ideas, Soul, as we're kind of like brainstorming and trying
Yeah,
to
no,
help
it
you finish the
does.
series. We it sounds like a number of the writers in the community have been there before, and hopefully I'll be there one day in a galaxy far, far away.
Hey yo.
Real quick, I do want to ask what you mean by this word. That
And
has a trait sliding scale part. I am unfamiliar with that specific wording.
a
Just explain
30
what that
question
is.
character interview that has trait sliding scale part.
Yeah, because it says it's just
Interesting.
that last bit that confuses me.
Yeah, Maggie, if you want to just clarify what you mean by trait sliding scale. In the meantime, Captain asked a good question over here. You said, do you guys isolate your creative thoughts through the writing process, or do you identify the framework of the character story and then seek out to build them from other sources of inspiration? Character story and then seek out to build them from other. I'm trying to understand the question.
I think I
Uh,
kind of understand it.
what was that?
I think I kind of understand it.
Do you guys isolate your creative thoughts throughout the writing process, or do you identify the framework of the character story and then seek out to build them from other sources of inspiration?
Captain, you might want to delve deeper into that because the question it's good, but it's also just a little confusing.
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to understand it. I mean, I think the at heart it's going into like what is like the creative process, and I mean we all have different creative processes, right? Um, like the case of the teenage kid, do you just
Oh,
write it from what you already know, or do you use your set plot points and go out to look for something out in the universe that fills the void? That's interesting. So, okay, I see what you're doing. Are you okay? So, are you essentially the question is when you are creating a world or when you're creating a story, are you basing it off of external ideas, influence, experience from the world itself, from the real world, or do you come up with an idea and then let the character's journey explore based on the plot? I think it's a really interesting question on external. To what degree do we use external inspiration for our storytelling, and then to what degree is it do we let the characters explore the story themselves? Um, I think for myself, I the framework for all of the characters that inhabit my world are all generally based on character types that I've seen in other stories, media, book, whatever throughout my life. When I start with the base idea, I then ask myself, how can I do a different version or a better version of this type of character psychology in a way that's going to suit and form my world? Once the characters are in my world, they are then put against the world building that I've already applied, and then asked how are they going to directly or indirectly affect the plot as it affects my main character, Scarecrow, in book one.
I know for myself, my characters, it varies. My characters and worlds, it kind of varies depending on, like, Kasai, no, he was completely based off what I know already.
Mm-hmm.
But in Pirate's first iteration, I looked at One Piece a lot for the inspiration from behind the original genetics idea. Because originally it's
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be like potions,
Mm-hmm.
and it was loosely based off devil fruits. It just eventually evolved into something more.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I think for myself, it depends on the exact character and the exact mechanic of whatever I'm writing. Do I need
Mm-hmm.
to work on what I know, or do I need to do some research?
Interesting.
It's kind of an even mix, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Crazy?
Oh, hello. Uh, for me, most of I shouldn't say most. Pretty much all of my characters are from like uh different things I've seen, media and all that stuff, except for one character that I've based on myself of like those kind of deep thoughts of maybe a bit anger and stuff like that. I
Mm-hmm.
based my own anger to this character. Damon is
Mm-hmm.
pretty much the dark side of me, the dark side and everything. Otherwise, the rest of it is just made up or not made up. I'm sorry, based on characters I've seen from media or video games, and I just use parts of them to create the world.
Interesting. So it sounds like you get ideas when you're first developing them, and then
Yeah,
they kind of evolve over time.
yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm. It sounds about right. I when I think about how my writing style or my development process differs from other writers, and not all other writers. I mean, there's obviously a lot of similar writers out there, but I feel like I personally have a very character development focused uh, type of storytelling. In that I like to explore my characters as they go through the story with a healthy mix of 50% interiority and then 50% action dialogue. Um, not readers don't always want a lot of interiority to varying extents, but really you want enough to understand the character and the motivation. I play a little more heavily into interiority, and I combine interiority with more varied and unique sentence structure. And I use the sentence structure to try to give to try to mimic stream of consciousness at times. So, but we'll see. We'll see what people think, whether or not it works or it doesn't. But I'm very happy with it. It's kind of interesting being an editor. I feel like I always ask myself how I can vary up sentence structure and paragraph structure and syntax to create a more varied storytelling experience. Do you guys ever think about that from your paragraph by paragraph structure?
I don't think I'd put that fine of a note to it, but I know I think about what exactly am I putting into the paragraph? Do I need to put emphasis on anything and what exactly is going on? But I don't really think about like the sentence structure, at
Mm-hmm.
least until I go back into editing and then I'm like, well, maybe I could reword this. Maybe I could, make this a semicolon, split into two sentences. But at first, I just kind of focus on what needs to go in this paragraph and what doesn't.
Okay.
Honestly, like I'm doing right now is I'm when I originally made the books, I wasn't really thinking about the structure of the sentences, the paragraphs. I was just full blown writing the story. But now that I'm going back to each of them, I'm realizing that there are details that I missed that make the whole thing not really make sense at all. So I've
Mm-hmm.
added more details than there were. And I think, in fact, the second chapter I worked on
Mm-hmm.
last week uh, was like ended up getting the highest amount of words to put in a chapter with like 800 something. And it's like, oh, that's actually pretty sweet.
Wow, that's really good. That's some
That,
good progress.
yeah. Um, but yeah, if at first it's like one of those. At the time I didn't really too much care about the structure. I just cared about the story itself and the characters themselves, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really look into like the details of the story very much. So I'm doing that now.
Okay. And now because it's because you're like putting it all together, right, and trying to make it more
Mhm.
like one
Trying
solidified
to, yeah,
collection.
because when you read it all into like the last book, I wanted like the backgrounds and what's happening in the background and all that stuff to actually make more sense than they originally did, with
Mm-hmm.
them like barely even being talked about or anything. I wanted to make more sense so that people can take a breather and be like, ah, I have made sense today.
Today was the day it all
Today
made
was the
sense.
day. It all made sense.
Oh man. Well, I think that's I think that's pretty interesting. And I mean, I think especially when we go back to stuff that we've already written, it's almost like it's an interesting learning experience. I mean, I'm kind of doing, I mean, not something similar or crazy, but I'm doing going through Scarecrow again as a third draft,
Mhm.
or in its third draft state, because I need to get stuff ready for people to give feedback. So I can start the editing process of it, even though I haven't fully finished the second draft of it. So it's
Right.
interesting because my second draft is probably about 65% of the way there. But I'm also kind of starting the third draft so I can get the first part of the book out to people.
Yeah. True.
But as I'm going through the third part and I'm kind of looking back at the character details and the descriptions,
Mhm.
it's interesting how much it's descriptions I've gave at certain parts, and sometimes it's necessary and sometimes it's not.
True. True. Now that part I do have somewhat difficulty in when it comes to like describing characters. Like I'm good with like what color is their hair, how long their hair is, how short their hair is, what color are their
Mhm.
eyes, yada yada yada. But the question always comes up: how much of a detail of a character is too much that the people are like, "Yo, we don't care about the rest. We want to know the story."
I think that's interesting. I mean, I think that every writer is going to be a little different in
Hmm.
that aspect. What I've generally seemed to find is that you have the writer who will generally under describe the character or the
Hmm.
setting. They'll give like maybe one or two brief descriptions, and
Hmm.
because they want the reader to create their own imagination of the character.
Yeah.
And then there's the writer who paints a very, very vivid description of the character, like hair, eyes, face, clothing, and everything, because they want the reader to have their vision of the character.
Yeah.
What is too much?
Mm-hmm.
Probably, Johnny, don't need to go into accessories. I feel like accessories probably aren't too important unless they're going to be relevant to the character later, or unless you're going for like a very distinct style, right? I'm like not going to go into depth about my character's belt, my boots, socks, undershirt, his comb. Unless it's relevant, right? Unless like this is the comb that he uses and it's actually a weapon and it kills people. Then it comes important. Or unless the belt has a very unique logo and that logo is actually going to be, it's a family crest and that crest has relevance throughout his character journey, right? So I think with description, it comes down to how relevant is it to the character, and then how relevant is it to the reader. If it's a one-off description about an accessory, then it's probably just some added extra stuffing. And of course, you'll always get reader feedback, right? They'll be like, "Oh yeah, this was great," or "This was too much," or "I'm not clear." And I think that's also a good way to test it.
Yeah, and also to bounce off the discussion real quick to answer Megan's question from, oh golly gee, it's been several years ago. My voice was fine, thank you. That was just Elmo popping in and saying, "Hi everybody." So I'm doing okay.
Crazy is our resident voice actor.
Yeah. Don't forget to put dragon on it.
I absolutely love that. But I think on that note, by the way, Devin, welcome, my friend. Always good to see you in the chat. But I think now's an excellent time. Let's get back into another writing sprint. So let's get into our second writing sprint. Let's push. Let's make some progress. And by the way, if you're here in the stream, you're here in the chat, if you're a community member, just tap that like button. Help us show the algorithm that writing streams are cool. If you're new to the community, make sure to tap that subscribe or follow button. We stream every day, 650 plus consecutive streams and counting, all designed to help you finish your next book, get writing motivation, and just connect with other writers of all genres, of all skill levels. So come join us because we're hopping into the next writing sprint once Kaufman is prepared.
You can do it!
Oh, man. All right. And no. Yes. It's like I forgot. All right. Bear with me. Well, Kaufman fixes his mistakes.
We make happy little accident.
I was like, and I like threw myself up on screen and then forgot to fix what I was doing. Okay. We are getting there. This is all good, fun stuff. Okay. Good. I know. I like see it on my end and they're like, oh, he's just talking to himself. Okay. Here we go. Perfect. So we have the writing sprint set up. We're going to go into writing sprint number 2, 45 minutes. We got some work in earlier. Let's try to push. Let's try to get some words in, words, ideas, anything. And then we'll check back in after and see if we were able to make some progress. So I am all ready. Whether you are writing, editing, revising, author branding, brainstorming, procrastinating, or something else in between, come join us because it's time to write now. All right, and we are back. How did that writing sprint treat you? Were you able to make any progress? Hopefully, you're able to make some type of progress with your storytelling, whether you got some words, some ideas, some inspiration, or something else in between. So, yeah. So, how'd that writing sprint treat you? Were you able to push yourself?
Yeah, I actually wrote something from one of the future stories for my therapy work just to give myself something to do, and it actually turned out not half bad.
Nice, nice. It's that's good that you were able to kind of push yourself and get a little bit. Yeah, and you said it was from your therapy work.
Yep, it's not the next story, but the one after that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, thought I'd try that one because I get to work with the Zoans again,
Mm-hmm.
and I have another character I'm working on for a fanfiction series
Mm-hmm.
that is also a Zoan, but kind of giving me some ideas maybe for later for because I don't know what I'm doing with that character yet.
Oh, okay. That totally makes sense. Well, that's good. That sounds like that'll be fun.
Oh yeah, very fun because the new character is a dinosaur. So,
Who doesn't want to play with dinosaurs?
uh, yeah, and when you're working with something that is extinct, well, yeah, no, there's some liberties you can have with that, but you can only go so far.
Nice. Megan, you got some brainstorming. Always a really, really great thing to do, especially when you're coming up with new ideas. Len, you said you got about 645 words. Nice. Bazinga. That sounds like some excellent progress. Let's see. How far did I get? I did. Yeah, I think I went through about 2,400 words that time of revision review. So it's interesting because as I'm going through the third draft, I'm just going through it much faster. It's like in such a readable state, and I'm just kind of fixing like I knew like I know I can go through. I know it'll take me about a month overall to go through a third draft of the novel, um, and I knew that that would be a good thing. So like I think I'm taking about 2 weeks to go through the first half of the book, so I can start getting it out for feedback while I continue to wrap up the second draft, the second half of it. Um, but yeah, it's just interesting. It's like so nice that it just like it feels readable. And all I'm fixing is like I'm just fixing minor like actions and things to kind of clarify, trying to cut wordiness, and then I have a list of like minor character beats or plot beats that I have to clarify for the reader. So
Once you get to that point in your writing, it feels so much better, doesn't it?
yeah, it really does. And then like I know the entire third draft will be like a solid readable draft. And then I will be getting feedback from people, be getting some developmental feedback, and then finally time will be time to send it off to an editor when I find an editor that is.
Ooh, sounds like so much fun.
Woo! I love it. I'm so I'm enthusiastic. I'm looking forward to the editing or to the type of feedback I get from an editor. I don't think I'm going to take it through a developmental feedback. I know I'll take it through some like probably developmental. I might have some a couple people like take a look at it. But yeah, sounds like we're all making some good progress. It sounds like we are making some substantial progress with our storytelling, and yeah, I feel pretty good about it. I let's see. Yeah, so I feel like this was a pretty good writers group. So thanks again for leading the charge today. Hopefully my schedule will be a little easier next week. Davin, I know, right? Getting close to that editing stage is like, woo. Awesome. Like I said, most this week is just dedicated to writing sprints, but this weekend I am super stoked as I am preparing and getting ready for the cover reveal for The Last Scarecrow. I am so stoked.
It is going to look awesome.
And I'm throwing up my little ad here let's see, where did it go? I was like, there is the JPEG. I'll throw it up real quick. So for anybody who's been following along on the journey, this Saturday will be the official cover reveal for The Last Scarecrow. So I'm super excited about it. I am like beyond stoked that I can finally get to show off the cover that I hired, my artist did such a great job for. So this Saturday will be the official cover reveal stream. I'll be talking through my process of finding a cover design artist, the development, the design, and then how we ended up at the product. I'll do an official, probably be the first official rating of the first chapter, and I feel pretty good about the chapter now. I think it's pretty finalized. I'll be launching the author website, and I'll should have a specific timeline in place to get to the road to publishing now. So I feel like I feel like I can get there. I'm excited. So hopefully all you guys will join me this Saturday, 1 Pacific, 2, 3, 4 p.m. Eastern. I'll be here and it'll be fire. But in the meantime, I'll be back tomorrow with another daily writing sprint stream at TBD, as I am kind of not planning out the times for my writing sprint streams to give myself a breather. So yes, but more to come. Faded Fantasy Anthology will be launching very, very soon. We'll probably be launching it this weekend.
Ooh, sounds like so much fun.
We'll be very, very excited about it. Everybody involved in the anthology will definitely be receiving correspondence. And that's what I got, my friends. We'll catch you on the next stream. Once again, I'm Kaufman, and this is
Chat Soul.
And we'll catch you in the next stream. Take care, friends. Stories are forever. I'm Kaufman, and I'll catch you on tomorrow. Stay creative, writers. It's time to write
now.
Sorry.
Right now, not right now, but right now. Read now, right now.